Okay, I'm going live on this end.
Wait, what's your question, Sharani?
Am I only reading stage directions, or am I also doing the narrator?
No, Bridget.
I'm the narrator. You're good. Yeah.
You're good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, great. Anyway, we're live.
Welcome.
Welcome to Theater But Better's production of Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It is the last show of the worst year in history. So it's gonna be a good one. So we have a new person with us. We have some returning people with us. I'll tweet out we're live after we start. So thank you everyone for coming. Let's go through. We'll say who we are playing. We will be doing the 2 songs. It will be iconic. Yeah. So, Michelle, who are you playing today?
I'm playing the Grinch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Cindy Lou.
Awesome. And then Simon, who are you playing?
I'm playing the Grinch.
We love it. Rebecca, who are you playing?
I am playing Junie, the teacher, the policeman, and a random dad.
A bunch
of who's.
Percy, who are you playing?
I am the mayor.
We love it. Bridget, who are you playing?
I am the narrator, clerk, Drew, and Rose.
Nice. Serenia is new with us. Serenia, what are you reading for?
I'm reading stage directions, so I guess maybe I'm the stage.
Yeah, you're the real main character. David, you're muted. Who are you playing?
I'm gonna be Lou, Clarnella, and Stu.
Love it, love it. And Mar, who are you playing?
I'm playing Betty Lou, Christina, and the assistant.
And I am playing Martha May Huvier, a random cyclist, Father Time, the answering machine, and Santa. So, does everyone have the script? Oh, and just so you know, guys, the script that we used was missing some stage directions, so I filled them in. So, if they sound less like what you'd think professional stage directions will sound like, that's why, but you know what the movie looks like, so don't worry about it. So, take it away, Serenia. Here we go. The Grinch.
Camera zooms in on a snowflake and then glides over the snowy mountains and peaks of the landscape as the narrator speaks.
Inside a snowflake, like the one on your sleeve, there happened a story you must see to believe. Way up in the mountains, in the high range of Pontoos, lay the small town of Whoville, the home of the Whos. Ask any and they'll have this to say, there's no place like Whoville around Christmas Day.
Cut to Whoville. Day. The Whos are bustling in the streets and shops, everyone getting ready for Christmas.
Every window was flocked, every lamppost was dressed, and the Whoville band marched in their Christmas best.
Sorry guys, I'm having technical difficulties. The Whoville band comes marching through.
Arbor Day was fine, and Easter was pleasant, and every St. Fizzy's Day they ate a fizz pheasant. But every Who knew, from their 12 toes to their snout, they loved Christmas the most, without a single Who doubt.
Cut to inside Farfingal's shop. It's bustling. Everyone is crowding the counter to buy gifts for Christmas. It is chaos incarnate. Carrying an armload of presents.
Oh. Got a snozzle phone for your brother Drew, and a snozzle phone for your sister Sue, a munkle for your uncle, a fant for your aunt, and a fampa for your cousin Leon. So we just need...
Looks around for Cindy.
Sale on aisle 3!
Excuse me.
Cindy Lou. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Cindy Lou.
Dad?
Hiding behind an armful of boxes. Lou comes up and removes one of the boxes so that Cindy Lou's face peeks out between them all.
Doesn't this all seem a bit much?
This is what Christmas is all about. Can't you feel it?
Another minute closer to Christmas.
A bell rings from town square.
For the next 5 minutes only, 99% off.
A mob of frantic Whos rush to the store. Cut to a shot of a Who being hoisted into the air on a harness to place the star on the top of the giant Whoville Christmas tree.
Yes, every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not.
Cut to the Grinch's lair. We see the Grinch's green hand come down over the handle of a periscope. Cut to outside. The Grinch's periscope pops out of the snow. We see 4 Who teenagers racing up the mountain.
Come on, girls, all the good mistletoe is at the top.
Hey, Drew, I'll race you.
Not if I race you first.
Last one to the top's the stinky old Grinch.
Guys, where are we? I think we should go back.
What? You're scared of the Grinch?
No.
They say he lives up here in a big cave and he only comes down when he's hungry for the taste of Who flesh.
Playfully slaps Drew's arm.
Oh, Drew.
You guys!
You're
4
scared
teens.
of... Good. You're scared of the Grinch. You're scared of the Grinch.
Cut to inside the Grinch's lair. A buzzer starts sounding with the light-up sign that reads, "Intruders!" Back out to the mountain. The 4 teens have now reached the very top and are standing before the Grinch's front door. The once cocky Stu and Drew are now paralyzed with fear.
Oh, come on. Touch it. Touch the door. Do it for me, Stu.
Stu looks back at Christina and nods, doing his best to seem cool and unafraid. The 2 boys then begin to shuffle nervously toward the door. They're just about to reach out and knock when the door bursts open and a giant roaring beast appears. The 4 teens scream and tumble backwards, rolling down the mountain. Camera cuts back to the beast to show that it's just the Grinch's dog, Max, barking into a large contraption that looks like the head of a ferocious beast. We hear the Grinch from off-screen.
Well done, Max.
We see the Grinch's hand rooting through a pile of rotten vegetables.
Serves them right, those Yuletide-loving, sickly-sweet, nog-sucking cheermongers.
The Grinch settles on a rotting onion. He brings it to his lips.
I really don't like them. No, I don't.
The Grinch takes a big bite out of the onion.
Max, get my cloak. I've been much too tolerant with these delinquents and their innocent, victimless crimes.
The Grinch walks out his front door to stand on the edge of the mountain and look down at Whoville. He tosses the onion in the air and catches it. He then rubs it under his armpits, then tosses it over his shoulder.
So, they want to get to know me, do they? They want to spend a little quality time with the Grinch?
The Grinch turns around to face the camera, and we finally see his face.
I guess I could use a little social interaction.
An unnaturally big, disturbed, devious smile spreads across the Grinch's face. Camera fades back to the streets of Whoville. He's prancing through the streets, laughing to himself.
Merry Christmas!
Oh yeah, you bet. Ho, ho, ho and stuff.
We see the Grinch is now disguised in a long brown cloak with a cheap plastic mask meant to look like the face of a normal Who. The cyclist bike passes the Grinch and then shortly after falls apart in the middle of the street.
Oh my, somebody's vandalized that vehicle. You see, Max? The city is a dangerous place.
The Grinch turns and walks on.
The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season.
Top of the day.
Flatfoot?
Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason.
A group of children pass the Grinch. He crouches down to talk to them as he produces a giant saw from inside his cloak and hands it to the kids.
Hey kids, here's a present for you. Be sure to run real fast with it now. Come on. Double time. Move.
It could be that his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that's the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small.
Cut to Lou and Cindy Lou walking through the streets of Whoville, bogged down by boxes and bags of presents.
Boy, nothing beats Christmas, right?
Yes.
You guess.
Well, it's just, I look around at you and Mom and everyone getting all kerbobbled. Doesn't this seem superfluous?
Dad.
Nomás estoy grabando.
Dad.
Yeah, do Stu and Drew and Christina.
What page are we on?
We're on page. We're on
8.
8. Yeah, we're on page 8.
Sorry.
You okay? No, it's stage directions. Serenity does Stu, Drew, and Christina.
Sorry, guys. Stu, Drew, Christina, and Junie comes trudging through the streets towards Lou and Cindy Lou, covered in snow and looking horrified.
What happened to you? It was the Grinch.
The Christmas music playing over the town speakers cuts out. People halt in the streets. Cars crash. People scream.
The Grinch!
What do you want? I mean, Grinch? Oh no!
Mayor Mayhew steps out of his office, followed closely by his assistant. He looks disturbed and concerned.
Did someone just say Grinch?
Hello, Mayor Mayhew, sir.
Lou, I don't need to remind you that this Christmas makes the 1000th Who Battalion.
Whoville's most important celebration.
And the book of Who says very clearly, every size of Who can measure knows that Whobilation is a time we must treasure. Now, please tell me that your boys were not out in the woods provoking the one creature within 1 billion kilometers of here who hates Christmas.
But it was the Grinch.
Grinch. No, sir.
Lou races over to his sons and covers their mouths.
The boys didn't see any Grinch.
He removes his hands from their mouths, and the boys continue babbling. Lou quickly covers their mouths.
I think they were out in the woods playing with matches or defacing public property or
Oh, well, that's a relief. All right, you heard the man. There's no Grinch problem here.
Relieved chattering from crowd.
Yeah.
I just realized that's the stage directions. Lou family walks over to their house while the crowd disperses. Cut to the Whoville post office.
Lou, I need it there by tomorrow.
Heck of a rush. Merry Christmas.
The post office is packed, people crowding the desk, practically throwing packages at Lou. Cut to back room. Lou is sliding back and forth on a ladder, putting packages and letters into different mailboxes. Cindy Lou is on the floor beneath him.
But, Dad, I just don't understand something. Why won't anyone talk about the Grinch?
You kids and the Grinch. You see, Cindy, the Grinch is a who is actually not a who. He's more of a
A what?
Exactly, honey. And he's a what who doesn't like Christmas. Take a look at his mailbox, sweetie. Not a single Christmas card in or out. Ever.
But why?
Lou ponders Cindy's question, but the yelling from angry customers distracts him.
I'll be right there.
Cut to the back of the mailroom on the other side of the wall of mailboxes.
It'll take them years to sort this out.
The Grinch begins moving letters to different mailboxes and where they belong.
This is his, and now it's yours, and this is hers, and now it's his.
The Grinch laughs and prances a few feet away from the mailbox.
And for the rest of you...
He takes
Jury
out a
duty,
giant
jury
stack of
duty,
letters
jury
and it
duty,
begins.
Jury duty. Blackmail, pink slip, chain letters, eviction notice, jury duty.
The front of the post office. Lou hands some letters to Cindy.
Would you mind helping me take this to the back room, hon? Be careful of the sorting machine, right?
Yeah.
Cindy Lou enters the back room slowly, eyeing the machine. She gets the sense that she's not alone, but she doesn't see anyone. She notices the Grinch's mask on the floor. She picks it up and examines it. Camera pans up to show the Grinch and Max perched up in the corner of the wall, waiting anxiously to see if Cindy notices them. She doesn't, shrugging and moving to walk away. But then Max sneezes.
Gesundheit.
Ah!
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 You're the
The motherfucking Grinch, bitch!
ah!
Okay. Serenity, it's the stage directions.
Sorry, I thought they had more lines.
No,
We see the sorting machine below Cindy. It's another conveyor belt, but this one has a giant mechanism that crushes each package nearly flat, ironically stamping them with the word fragile. Cindy screams again, knowing she's about to be crushed.
Help! Help!
Max, let's go. Our work here is done.
Max growls at the Grinch and bites his butt.
Ooh, that is not a chew toy. Stop it, Max. Get that out of your mouth. You have no idea where it's been.
Help!
Grinch looks back towards where Cindy fell and groans.
Ooh. Bleeding hearts of the world unite.
He marches over to the sorting machine, reaches in and pulls Cindy out, setting her back down on her feet before him. He growls and snatches his mask from her hand.
There, give me that. Don't you know you're not supposed to take things that don't belong to you? What are you, some kind of wild animal? Let's go.
Max and the Grinch head for the door.
Thanks for saving me.
Halts and drags his fingers down the door.
Saving you? Is that what you think I was doing?
Uh-huh.
Wrongo. I merely noticed that you were improperly packaged, my dear.
The Grinch lunges at Cindy Lou with a roll of wrapping paper and begins aggressively bundling her into a giant Christmas present.
Hold still. Max, pick out a bow. Can I use your finger for a second?
Cut 2. Cindy is alone in the back room, calling out for help.
Hello? Hello?
Lou
Cindy?
enters the back room.
Dad! Daddy!
What the hey?
Dad,
Lou
it was
rushes over and unwraps
amazing.
Cindy.
You've been practicing your Christmas wrapping. Oh, honey, I'm so proud of you.
Oh.
Now, that's holiday.
Sweet little Cindy didn't know what to do. In her head, Bum tumbled a conflict or two. If the Grinch was so bad, then why did he save me? Maybe he wasn't so bad. Maybe, just maybe.
Cut to a Whoville neighborhood street at night. Lou and Cindy take packages off the roof of the car as Christmas music plays in the background.
No lights on in the house. Your mom must be shopping.
Suddenly, dozens of Christmas lights turn on, illuminating the house, and we see Belly Lou standing on the roof in her bathrobe, putting up a copious amount of Christmas lights.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you're home. Oh, I can feel it, Lou. This is the year when everybody asks who has the most spectacular lights in all of Greater Whoville. They're gonna cry out, Miss Betty Lou Who.
Isn't this the chandelier from the dining room?
Oh, it's all for the cause, dear. Oh, and Cindy, could you be Mommy's little helper and unscrew the ball from the refrigerator? Somehow I missed that one.
Cindy shrugs and heads inside.
Every year, Martha May Hoopier has the best lights. Well, not this year. This year I'm gonna beat that prim, perfect little prissy.
Betty! Hi!
Camera cuts to show Martha May standing outside her own spectacularly lit up house.
Martha!
My, I've never seen so many beautiful Christmas lights, Betty Lou.
Well, I'd blow every fuse if I tried to keep up with you, Martha May.
Martha holds up a small but dazzling miniature chandelier.
Isn't this antique, darling? It's handcrafted and almost 100 years old.
Muttering to herself.
Jeez. I'm really impressed.
Martha walks over and pulls a cover off of a cannon-like looking contraption.
This, however, is new.
Martha fires up the contraption, which begins to rapidly shoot lines of Christmas lights onto her house. Betty gazes in awe, holding onto a strand of her own lights as she leans forward to get a better look. Lou almost loses his footing trying to hold the other end of the lights.
Whoa, hey, Betty, sweetie.
Martha finishes shooting up her lights and smiles back at Betty.
Well, good night, Betty.
Cut to a shot of a phone ringing. Lou and Betty fight over who gets to answer it. Lou's holding a candelabra since Betty has used all of the lights in the house for her display.
Hello? Is my Sub-Zero chibrillator running? I suppose.
Well, then you better go catch it. Oh, that's a good one. That's rich.
Grinch looks down at Max, who's unimpressed.
Let's go home.
We see Max and the Grinch pull up the lid of the chute. Max goes to hop.
Fleas before beauty. Thank you.
The Grinch hops in.
Come on, hurry up, Slowpoke.
The Grinch and Max skyrocket up to Mount Crumpet through the trash chute. The Grinch groans.
Oh, there's got to be a better way.
They come tumbling out in a garbage pile at the top of the mountain.
A car would have paid for itself by now.
A low rumbling is heard.
Ooh, goody, another load coming now.
A bunch of garbage bags dump out onto the Grinch.
Whew, oh, what is that stench? It's fantastic.
Grinch looks and sees that the bags say toxic waste.
Max, grab a bag. We'll be back for the rest. Of course, when I say we, I mean you.
Max and the Grinch start heading up to the Grinch's lair.
It's amazing what these Who's can throw away. Oh well, one man's toxic sludge is another man's potpourri.
Max barks.
I don't know, it's some kind of soup.
Cut to Cindy Lou's bedroom at night. Cindy is sitting before a music box. She begins to sing.
Here we go.
Where are you, Christmas? Why can't I find you? Why have you gone away? My world is changing. I'm rearranging. Does that mean Christmas changes too? Where are you, Christmas? Do you remember the girl I used to know? You and I were so carefree. Now nothing's easy. Did Christmas change or just me?
We're back at the Grinch's lair. The Grinch and Max enter the cold, desolate place. The Grinch turns on a light and sighs. He then places the bag of toxic waste on a catapult and shoots it at a poster of Mayor Mayhew.
Oh, sweet.
The Grinch hangs up his cloak and begins to sing to himself.
Be it ever so heinous, there's no place like home.
He marches down the stairs of his lair.
First floor factory rejects. Those Who's are hard to frazzle, Max, but we did our worst, and that's all that matters. At least I scared the bejeebles out of that little girl at the post office. She'll be scarred for life if we're lucky.
He moves behind his screen and begins to change, humming to himself. His humming turns into growling until he finally steps back out from the screen, dressed in a black silk robe.
Funny she didn't rat on us, though. She must be afraid of reprisals.
The Grinch fires up an X-ray machine and holds it up over his chest, where we see a tiny cartoon heart beating.
Yes, down a size and a half. And this time, I'll keep it off.
The Grinch and Max start walking away. The Grinch turns to Max.
Get the stick! Get the stick!
Max barks and runs off after the stick.
There's no stick. I'm smarter.
The Grinch runs and jumps on his bed, then shifts up and moves over to his answering machine.
Any calls?
You have no new messages.
Odd. Better check the outgoing.
If
In the
you utter
Grinch's
so
voice.
much as one syllable, I'll hunt you down and gut you like a fish. If you'd like to fax me, press the star key.
Oh well.
The Grinch jumps up and ziplines down to the lower level, crashing into his armchair.
Oh, that's more like it.
He hums to himself as he pulls off his socks. He then picks up a glass bottle and bites into it.
Excellent year. I'll tell you, Max, I don't know why I ever leave this place. I've got all the company I need right here. Hello! Hello! How are you? How are you? I asked you first. I asked you first. Oh, that's really mature, saying exactly what I say. Oh, that's really mature, saying exactly what I say. I'm an idiot. You're an idiot. All right, fine. I'm not talking to you anymore. In fact, I'm going to whisper so that by the time my voice reverberates off the walls and gets back to me, I won't be able to hear it. You're an idiot.
The Grinch picks up another bottle, smashes it, and bites into it.
Am I just eating because I'm bored?
He frowns and cuddles up on his chair, looking sad and lonely. Cut to two elderly women down in Whoville open the door to see Cindy Lou standing on their porch with the recorder slung around her shoulder.
Oh, hello, little girl. Are you here to read to us?
Hell no. I hear you know some things about the Grinch.
Cindy Lou had some questions in her curious heart. Why did the Grinch hate Christmas? Where did it all start? With her dad's blabber quarter, she wouldn't give an inch.
In your own words, please tell me everything you know about the Grinch. Where did he come from?
Oh, well, he came the way all who babies come. He came the way all who babies come. On calm nights, baby who girls and tiny who fellas drift from the sky in their own pubercellas.
We see a serene night sky full of little baby baskets floating down to Whoville. One lands peacefully on a front porch just as the father is coming outside to set out the milk bottle.
Hey, honey, our baby's here. He looks just like your boss.
Oh, so that's how it works.
It was Christmas Eve and a strange wind blew that night.
We now see the Grinch's Pumbercella floating down. He crashes it into another baby and sends them flailing off course. He laughs a creepy, evil baby laugh. The Grinch then floats all the way down to Whoville, but he gets stuck in a tree and begins to cry. The Christmas party rages on inside the house. No one notices.
It was morning before anyone noticed that he was out there. The poor dear.
But you know what? We knew right away that he was special.
Flashback to a baby Grinch sitting in a high chair. Rose and Clarnella come over with a plate of Christmas cookies.
Do you want a Christmas cookie?
Which Christmas cookie would you like?
Fanta.
Oh,
Oh,
his first word.
yes, that is a Santa plate.
Do you want to hold the Santa plate?
Baby Grinch reaches out and chomps down on the plate, biting off Santa's head.
Santa,
Oh.
bye-bye.
Oh, he was wonderful, whatever he was. And we raised him like any other Who child with a deep love of Christmas.
Cut to a Who school classroom. The Grinch is in the back laughing to himself as he draws a very violent picture of Santa being struck by lightning.
Don't forget, tomorrow is our big Christmas gift exchange. Everyone bring a special gift for a special someone.
We fade in on another one of Cindy's interviews. This one is with Martha May.
The Grinch? He had no sense of color coordination. Although I hardly remember him. I did not have time to socialize. I was far too busy with my studies.
Now, class, is everyone almost finished?
Martha makes eyes at the Grinch from across the room as we hear another one of Cindy's interviewees, the mayor.
If the truth be told, he looked like Martha. Martha was my girlfriend. I don't like discussing this Grinch so very close to Christmas, but maybe if you hear the truth, you'll understand why.
He looks at his assistant who is shining his shoes.
Put your back into it. I tried to take him under my wing. You don't have a chance with her. You're 8 years old and you have a beard. He had hair. Not pleasant. He shed. Not right.
Back in the flashback of the schoolroom, Child Grinch awkwardly walks over to Martha's desk.
You know, Christmas is my favorite time of year. I just love the colors. The red,
She reaches out and strokes the Grinch's cheek.
the green. Did I have a crush on the Grinch? Of course not.
I didn't ask you that.
Oh, right.
That was me. Sorry. For some reason, when he came home that day, he got really into the Christmas spirit for the first time.
We see Child Grinch rooting for the trash until he finds an old horn.
Perfect.
The Grinch dumps out an entire silverware drawer.
Whoopsie.
The Grinch takes an old necklace out of a box hidden on a bookshelf.
What a lovely family heirloom.
Cut to the Grinch at the kitchen table, smashing the necklace with a hammer. We see him place jewels onto the horn and then see him light a small fire in a pot over the stove.
The fires of love.
The camera pans over his finished work, a homemade angel for the top of a Christmas tree.
This will be perfect on top of her tree. Oh, Martha. Oh, Christmas.
The Grinch places the finished gift down, smiling. He then looks in the mirror and frowns as he hears voices in his head.
I want you all to look your best tomorrow.
You don't have a chance with her. You're 8 years old and you have a beard.
The Grinch picks up a razor. Cut to back in the classroom the next day.
Has everyone given their gifts?
I haven't.
The Grinch emerges from behind the coat rack with a paper bag over his head. He holds up the gift he's made.
Merry Christmas, Martha May.
Why do you have a bag on your head?
Probably because he's embarrassed by that hideous gift.
Mr. Grinch, please take that bag off your head. Yes, you take it off.
The Grinch sits down at his desk and props a book up in front of him before taking the bag off.
Put the book down.
Grinch puts the book down, but has his foot propped up on the desk to shield his face.
And your foot.
The Grinch puts his foot down to show that he has shaving cuts all over his face.
Look at that hack job.
The kids all laugh at him and taunt him. Even the teacher starts laughing at him. Martha May glares at them. The Grinch can no longer handle it. He jumps up and throws Martha's gift across the room.
Stupid present. Stupid tree.
He lifts the class Christmas tree up over his head.
I hate Christmas.
The anger.
The fury.
The muscles.
The Grinch throws the tree and the other students scream and run out of the room. The Grinch runs to leave. He stops for a moment to look back at Martha, but shakes his head and leaves anyway. Martha goes and picks up the shattered gift he'd made her.
It was a horrible day when they were so cruel to him, and I could hardly bear it.
We see the child version of the Grinch climbing up Mount Comfort.
I hate Christmas. I hate it.
And that was the last time we ever saw him. The very last time.
You see Child Grinch again, standing at the top of Mount Crumpet, crying as he looks down at Whoville. The image shifts, and he is now grown Grinch, glaring down still.
So whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood outside his cave, hating the Who's.
He takes out a phone book and flips it open.
Alphabetically, Aardvarkian Abacanezer Who, I hate you. Aaron B. Benson Who, I hate you. Hate, hate, hate. Hate, hate, hate. Double hate. Loathe entirely.
The Grinch hears Christmas music begin to play from down in Whoville.
Nutcrackers. It's their jubilation.
He snarled with a sneer.
Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here. Max, fetch me my sedative.
You see the Grinch back in his lair, holding a giant mallet.
Now to take care of these pesky memories.
He smacks himself in the face with it. Cut to Whoville. The streets are filled with every Who getting ready for the Whobilation. The Lou family is walking together.
Dad,
Yeah?
I've been thinking about the Whobilation.
Uh-huh.
And may I do something drastic?
Uh-huh, yeah. It's fine, dear. Ask your mother.
Where did she go?
Honey, hi. Oh, look, I just find the cutest light for my Christmas display.
We hear a car crash off screen.
Hurry up, we're gonna be late. Come on.
Cut to town hall where fanfare plays as Martha May and the mayor take the stage.
And now the nominations for that who among us who best typifies the qualities of whodom and hoodery, the Whoville Holiday Cheermeister. Do I hear a nomination?
I nominate the Grinch.
The Grinch?
Yes.
My. What an altruistic daughter you have there, Lou.
Thank you.
Cindy, let me quote a verse from the Book of Who. Thank you. The term Grinchy shall apply when Christmas spirit is in short supply. Now, I ask you, does that sound like our holiday cheermeister?
True, Mr. Mayhew, but the Book of Who says this too. No matter how different a Who may appear, he will always be welcome with holiday cheer.
Whoa, yes. Well, the book also says the award cannot go to the Grinch because sometimes things get the lead pipe cinch.
You made that up. It doesn't say that.
No, it does.
What page?
Oops, lost my place, but it's in there.
But the book does say the cheermeister is the one who deserves a backslap or a toast, and it goes to the soul at Christmas who needs it the most. And I believe that soul is the Grinch. And if you're the Who's, I hope you are, you will too.
She's right.
Right.
Fine. You people want to waste a perfectly good nomination? Why, it's up to you. But I am telling you, the Grinch will never come down.
And when he doesn't, the mayor will wear the crown.
Well, more or less.
The Who's go back to celebrating and cheering. Cindy looks up at Mount Crumpet as Christmas music begins to play. The Grinch, laying in bed, begins to sing along to Christmas music without realizing it.
Tick tock, counting down the Christmas clock. Young, old, big, small.
He sits up and grabs a pillow to pull over his ears.
Last, this Christmas music. It's joyful and triumphant. Must drown them out.
He gets up and puts nails in several different blenders.
Not working.
Cindy Lou begins to climb Mount Crumpet.
The whippoorwinds whipped high above the Who town. A trip or a slip, you'd slide all the way down. But this girl had a mission. She knew what to do. She'd invite the Grinch herself, that brave Cindy Lou.
The Grinch winds up a giant toy monkey with cymbals.
Play, monkey, play.
He gets on a jackhammer. Cindy Lou Who knocks on the front door of the Grinch's lair.
Mr. Grinch!
He doesn't answer. She crawls through the doggy door. She enters to see the Grinch his head between the monkey's cymbals. She comes up and taps him on the shoulder.
Excuse me?
The Grinch stands up and holds the monkey cymbals together, causing it to short circuit.
Hello, little girl. How dare you enter the Grinch's lair? The impudence, the audacity, the unmitigated gall. You've called down the thunder. Now get ready for the boom. Gaze into the face of fear.
Mr. Grinch, my name is Cindy Lou Who.
You see, even now the terror is welling up inside you.
I'm not scared.
Denial is to be expected in the face of pure evil.
I don't think so.
Doubt, another unmistakable sign of the heebie-jeebies. Now you're doomed. Run for your life before I kill again. I'm a psycho.
Okay, maybe you need a timeout.
Kids today, so desensitized by movies and television. What do you want?
Mr. Grinch, I came to invite you to be the holiday cheermeister.
Holiday hoobie whatty?
Cheermeister.
Huh. Cheermeister. Celebrate with friends. Ha! That's a good one.
I know you hate Christmas, but what if it's all just a misunderstanding?
Turning away and walks up to the baptistry platform,
Don't care.
following the
I
Grinch.
mean, I myself am having some Yuletide doubts, but maybe if you can reunite with the Who's and be a part of Christmas.
Maybe if I can reunite you with the Who's and be a part of Christmas. Grow up!
Then maybe it'll be all right for me too.
I'm sorry, your session is over. Please make another appointment with the receptionist on the way out.
Please, please, you have to accept the award.
Award? You never mentioned any award.
Yeah, with a trophy and everything.
And I won?
You won.
That means there are losers.
I guess so. So if you come,
A town full of losers. I like it. Was anyone emotionally shattered? Come on, a minute ago I couldn't shut you up. Details, details.
well, the mayor wasn't too happy.
Oh, no.
Martha May will be there.
Oh, she will?
Mm-hmm.
And she'll see me. A winner.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be on me like Flegel flies on a flat-faced flugelhorse. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Martha May, but the G train has left the station.
So will you come?
Oh, all right.
He begins to walk Cindy to the door.
I don't know if it's that adorable twinkle in your eye or that nonconformist streak that reminds me of a younger, less hairy me, but you've convinced me. Who knows, this jubilation could change my entire outlook on life.
Really?
No.
He pulls the trapdoor and she disappears, giggling and screaming.
Ah!
She gets dumped out of the chute back in Whoville, landing in a pile of snow.
There you are, honey. You can make snow angels later. We can't be late for the jubilation.
The nerve of those Who's inviting me down there on such short notice. Even if I wanted to go, my schedule wouldn't allow it. 4 o'clock? wallow in self-pity. 4:30, stare into the abyss. 5 o'clock, solve world hunger. Tell no one. 5:30, jazzercise. 6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. I'm booked. Of course, if I bumped the loathing to 9 o'clock, I could still be done in time to lay in bed and stare at the ceiling and slip slowly into madness. But what would I wear?
He stalks over to a table and pulls a tablecloth out from under the pots and pans without disturbing them. He starts to walk away, but runs back and knocks all the pots and pans and the table itself over. The Grinch comes out to model before Max. He has turned the tablecloth into a skirt. Max barks.
It's not a dress, it's a kilt, you sicko.
He throws out all kinds of clothes.
Stupid, ugly, out of date. This is ridiculous. If I can't find something nice to wear, I'm not going.
The Grinch hears yodeling coming from up the mountain. We see the yodeler get yanked off screen, and the next moment, the Grinch walks back out in front of Max, wearing the yodeler's lederhosen.
Ooh. That's it. I'm not going.
Back in Whoville, the Whobilation has begun.
Well, it's time for our Holiday Cheermeister of the Year award. Congratulations, Mr. Grinch. Oh, he isn't here. What? He didn't show? Oh, who could have predicted this?
Back in the Grinch's lair.
All right, I'll swing by for a minute and allow them to envy me, grab a handful of popcorn shrimp, and blow out of there. But what if there's a cruel prank? How dare they? All right, I'll go, but I'll be fashionably late. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Definitely not. All right, I've made my decision. I'm going, and that's that. I have my fingers crossed.
Max tugs on the lever to the trapdoor, and the Grinch drops down.
Maybe I should flip a coin.
Back in Whoville.
That's right, a man for who Christmas comes not once a year, but every minute of every day, a handsome nobleman, a man who's had his tonsils removed twice.
That's an interesting story. You see, what happened was...
Rumbling. The Grinch shoots out of the garbage chute and lands right on Martha, his face buried in her cleavage.
Hello, Martha.
You made it!
Cindy, what?
Honey,
Boo.
Oh my God.
Hot crowd, hot crowd. I believe I'm here to accept an award of some kind. And the child mentioned a check.
No, I didn't.
All right, then. Give me the award, come on, while I'm young.
Don't you worry, Mr. Holiday Cheermeister. You'll get your reward. But first, a little family reunion. They nursed you. They clothed you. Here they are. Your old biddies.
Grinch's moms make their way through the crowd.
Are you two still living?
We missed you.
The sweater, Rose. This way, the sweater.
Sweater, what are you talking about? No!
Who's surround him and put on ugly Christmas sweater.
I can't do this. Don't touch me!
Put him in the chair of cheer.
Chair of cheer? What's the chair of cheer? You didn't tell me about the chair.
Please, Mr. Grinch, please.
No, I can't do it. Honestly, I'm not ready. It's too much, too soon.
That time of the year, the Cheermeisters ride in the chair of cheer.
Who's put him in a chair and prance him across the stage, cheering.
Put me down. I mean it. I've got a lawyer. There'll be hell to pay.
First, you'll put your taste buds to the test as you judge the Who Pudding Cook-Off.
Montage of different spoonfuls of pudding being shoved into the Grinch's mouth.
Christmas conga.
Hey, look at the time. Really should be getting back. All right.
Fruitcake fa la la.
A montage of different fruitcakes being shoved in the Grinch's mouth. Cut to the Grinch competing against the Who children in a sack race.
Out of the way. Slow-mo.
Chariots of Fire theme begins to play as the Grinch crosses the finish line first.
Yes!
Yay!
Holds up the Grinch's hand.
He's number 1 in the sack race!
Number 1. I'm number 1. No child can beat the Grinch. Yeah. Woo! Beat you. I beat you. Ha ha.
And now it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for.
Ah, yes. My award. And the check.
There is no check.
Are you sure? Because I really thought I heard someone mention a check.
I said there's no check. And now it's time for Present Pass It On. As always, we start with our cheermeister.
The assistant presents the Grinch with a gift box. The Grinch excitedly opens it. It has been years since he's received a Christmas gift. His spirits are quickly doused when he sees what's inside the box. A razor, identical to the one he used that day all those years ago.
The gift of a Christmas shave.
The crowd laughs.
Ha ha
The Grinch turns on the razor and seethes, remembering that awful day.
Yes, good times. And now I have a little something for the love of my life. Martha May,
He presents
please
her-
become Mrs. Augustus Mayhew.
Augustus.
If you agree to be my wife, along with a lifetime supply of happiness, you'll also receive this. It's a new car generously provided by the taxpayers of Whoville.
Ah!
What do you say, Martha? You got 20 seconds on the clock.
Well, these gifts are quite dazzling.
Grinch scratches the car with a finger.
Of course they are. That's all it's about, isn't it? That's what it's always been about. Gifts. Gifts. You want to know what happens to your gifts? I find them all in your garbage. You see what I'm saying? In your garbage. I could choke myself with all the bad Christmas neckties I found at the dump. And the greed never ends. I want golf clubs. I want diamonds. I want a pony so I can ride it twice, get bored, and sell it to make glue. Well, I don't want to make waves, but this whole Christmas season is stupid. There is, however, one teeny tiny Christmas tradition I find quite meaningful.
The Grinch reaches out and plucks the mistletoe off of Martha's engagement ring box.
Mistletoe.
He turns around and holds the mistletoe over his butt.
Now pucker up and kiss it, Whoville.
Martha faints. The Grinch turns on the razor again and grabs a hold of the mayor and shaves down the middle of his head.
Uh-oh. Somebody's fabulous.
The Who's panic and begin to run away. The Grinch rips off his Christmas sweater and hops down into the crowd. Who drags Cindy away.
Let's go.
No!
Excuse me, old-timer. Mind if I wet my whistle?
He reaches for the flask around the old man's neck.
Well,
The Grinch takes a big gulp and tosses the flask away. It shatters to the ground.
that's my good stuff.
The Grinch picks up a lighter and exhales alcohol onto the flame, sending the Whoville Christmas tree up in flames.
Burn, baby, burn.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the humanity.
Let's go. Come on.
No, wait!
Do
The mayor looks at his
something.
assistant.
Right.
Fires up the razor and shaves down the middle of his head identical to the mayor's. A cop car goes by as people run and scream.
Calling all units, calling all units.
The Grinch runs through the streets of Whoville. He tries to hail a cab.
Taxi?
The cab passes him by.
It's because I'm green, isn't it?
A small car carrying two very tiny Whos approaches.
Halt.
The Grinch stops the car with his foot.
Evening, folks. Mind if I ride along?
The Grinch goes to sit down, clearly about to crush the small Whos.
You might want to scoot over.
The Whos flee from the car, screaming.
You did the right thing.
The Grinch zooms off, perched on the tiny car, weaving in and out of terrified Whos.
Out of the way. Hey. That's going to hurt in the morning. Ha ha.
Suddenly, a woman with a stroller is in his path. The Grinch swerves to avoid hitting her, and the tiny car spins out, crashing into a fire hydrant. The Grinch is sprawled out on the ground beside the car when he notices the car is on fire.
It's going to blow.
The Grinch runs away in slow motion, jumping at the last second as a tiny car explodes behind him. Cut to Who sitting around frazzled after the aftermath of the Grinch's antics.
Lou, I'm hurt, Lou. I'm hurt and I don't hurt easily, but you and your family, I'm so disappointed. Can't we get back to Christmas the way it should be? Grinchless. Merry Christmas.
Hey!
Cindy's family walks over to her, looking sad and concerned.
I just wanted everybody to be together for Christmas.
Cut to the Grinch, skipping over to the trash chute to Crumpet, pleased with himself.
I quite enjoyed that. I hope I get another invite soon.
He hears the Whoville band strike up again, and the Who's cheering. He sees them carrying another giant Christmas tree into the town square.
Come on, come on, come on. Good thing we have a spare.
Suffering snorkelblats. They're relentless.
He dives into the trash chute.
Only 4 more hours till Christmas.
Yes, the Grinch knew tomorrow all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early and rush for their toys.
And then, oh, the noise. The noise, 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 noise. They'll bang on tongue tinglers. They'll blow on flu flounders. They'll crash on jang jinglers and bounce on bong bounders.
Then Who's young and old would sigh down to a feast, and they'll feast and they'll feast.
And they'll feast, 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 feast. They'll eat their Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, but there's something I just cannot stand in the least. Oh no, I'm speaking in rhyme. Ah, blast you Who's.
And the more the Grinch thought about what Christmas would bring, the more the Grinch thought,
I must stop this whole thing. Why, for year after year, I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas thing from coming. But how? I mean, in what way?
Max puts on Holly Jolly Christmas record and starts to dance.
Are you having a holly jolly Christmas, Max?
The record needle skips. The song stops.
Wrongo!
He tosses Max out into the snow and then follows after him.
If you're not going to help me, then you might as well.
Notices the snow around Max's face, looking like a long white beard.
then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what to do.
Cut to a shot of the Grinch cutting and sewing red fabric.
The Grinch laughed in his throat.
Ha ha ha!
What if he had a Santa Claus hat and a coat? And he chuckled and clucked at this great Grinchy trick.
With this coat and hat, I'll look just like Saint Nick. Ho ho ho!
Now I'm singing this song on behalf of Simon, so he doesn't have to do it.
Boo, Simon should have to do it.
Here we go. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. You're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39 and a half a pole. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch. Given the choice between the two of you, I'd take the seasick crocodile.
The Grinch spins on a swing above his sleigh, but goes too fast and makes like he's going to vomit. Cut to the Grinch and Max sitting outside atop the sleigh. The Grinch watches Santa down in Whoville through binoculars.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
That boy should be finished up any time now. Talk about a recluse. He only comes out once a year and he never catches any flack for it. Probably lives up there to avoid the taxes.
Merry Christmas.
Oopsie, forgot about the reindeer.
Did that stop the old Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said,
If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. Oh, Max.
So he called his dog Max, and he took some red thread and tied a big horn on the top of his head.
Grinch, dressed like Ron Howard, sits in a director's chair in front of Max back in the lair. Max is now sporting one giant antler and a red nose.
All right, you're a reindeer. Here's your motivation. Your name's Rudolph, a freak with a red nose, and nobody likes you. Then one day, Santa picks you and you save Christmas. No, forget that part. We'll improvise. Just keep it kind of loosey-goosey. You hate Christmas. You're going to steal it. Saving Christmas is a lousy ending. Way too commercial.
He
Action.
sits down and picks up a megaphone. Max knocks his red nose off.
Brilliant. You reject your own nose. Because it represents the glitter of commercialism. Why didn't I think of that? Cut, print, check the gate, moving on.
Cut to the Grinch and Max back in the sleigh. The Grinch flips a switch and the sleigh begins to vibrate.
That feels good.
He revs the engine.
Here goes nothing. Hot dog. Hee hee. Woohoo. This is nice. This is nuts. On Crasher, on Thrasher, on Vomit, on Blitzkrieg.
The sleigh lurches forward down the mountain, careening out of control.
Whoa! We're gonna die. We're gonna die. I'm gonna throw up and then I'm gonna die. Mommy, tell it to stop.
The sleigh evens out and the Grinch laughs nervously.
Whew. Almost lost my cool there.
The sleigh zooms on down to Whoville.
All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Whos were all dreaming sweet dreams without a care. When he came to the first little house on the square.
Welcome to Whoville, Max.
The Grinch lands on the house of the Lou Whos. Lou wakes up in bed when he hears the sound.
Betty.
What?
Did you hear something?
It's Santa. Go right back to sleep.
Cut back to the Grinch and Max on the roof.
Come on, Max. It's our first stop.
The old Grinchy claws hummed and hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. He'd slide down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two.
He's planning a double twisting, interrupted, 4 flying, 2.5 with a combo tuck and pike. High degree of difficulty.
The Grinch jumps up and dives headfirst down the chimney and immediately gets stuck.
Blasted water weight. Goes right to my hips. Oh, gee.
Then he stuck out his head out of the fireplace flue.
Shh. A little more stealth, please.
Where the little Who stockings all hung in a row.
These stockings
He grinned.
are the first things to go.
The Grinch takes out a can of moths and unleashes them on the stocking. You see shots of the Grinch using a giant hose-like contraption to slick all the presents in me.
Then he slunk to the icebox.
Slunk.
He eyed the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast.
Hey!
He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinchy even took their last can of Who ash. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee.
And now
Grinned the Grinch.
I'll stuff up the tree.
And the Grinch grabbed the tree, and he started to shove when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove.
You see Cindy Lou standing at the top of the stairs.
Excuse me?
Hey!
The Grinch sets the tree back down and hides behind it.
The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter who'd got out of bed for a cup of cold water.
Santa Claus? What are you doing with our tree?
But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought up a lie and he thought it up quick.
Why, my sweet little tot?
The fake Santa Claus lied.
There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side.
Breaks the light.
So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there and bring it back here.
Santa, what's Christmas really about?
Vengeance! Oh, I mean, presents, I suppose.
I was afraid of that.
And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted her head, and he got her a drink and he sent her to bed.
Santa,
What?
don't forget the Grinch. I know he's mean and hairy and smelly. His hands might be cold and clammy, but I think he's actually kind of sweet.
Sweet? You think he's sweet?
Merry Christmas, Santa.
Eeh!
And when Cindy Lou went up with her cup,
Nice kid. Bad judge of character.
he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up, and the last thing he took was the log for their fire. On their walls he left nothing but some hooks and some wire, and the one speck of food that he'd left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. And he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around each Who home, and he took every present.
A very long montage of the Grinch going from house to house, stealing everything. You've all seen this, you know what it looks like, so we're not going to go on describing every detail of it. Cut to the mayor's house. The Grinch stands over the mayor as he sleeps. The mayor is talking in his sleep.
Martha, have you ever kissed a man who lost his tonsils twice?
No, silly. But it's an experience that I've always longed for. Kiss me, you fool.
The Grinch lifts up Max and has the mayor kiss his ass. The Grinch then hooks a grappling hook to the end of the mayor's bed. The montage of him stealing stuff continues, finishing with him turning off all the lights on the Whoville Town Christmas tree. With everything in his sleigh, it begins to rise in the air as the Grinch laughs maniacally to himself yet again. But the sleigh crashes to the ground out of gas. Max barks.
What are you laughing at, Rudolph?
Cut to a shot of tiny little Max dragging the sleigh back up Mount Crumpet.
It's all you, Maxie.
3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it.
Max and the Grinch reach the top of the mountain. The Grinch jumps down from the sleigh excitedly.
We did it, we did it, we did it! That wasn't so bad, was it, Max? They'll be waking up now, and I know what they'll do. All those who's down in Whoville will all cry boo-hoo-hoo.
Cut to all the Whos leaving their homes and wandering the streets of Whoville, crying. Policeman runs out of his house.
What an embarrassment! I've been robbed!
He drives off, but it turns out that the Grinch's grappling hook from earlier was attached to the mayor's bed. The mayor's bed is hurtled forward, crashing through the window and then dragged through town. The mayor is on his bed looking horrified. The cop gets out of the car and sees what's happened.
Mayor Mayhew? Oh, dearest me.
The mayor gets out of bed, realizing what's happened.
Well, I wonder who could have done this. Tell you people one thing. Invite the Grinch, destroy Christmas. Invite the Grinch, destroy Christmas. But did anybody listen to me?
I did.
No, you chose to listen to that little not to be taken seriously girl who hasn't even grown into her nose yet. Cindy, I hope you're very proud of what you've done.
If she isn't, I am. I'm glad he took our presents.
What?
I'm glad.
He's glad, you're glad, everything is gone. You're glad that the Grinch virtually wrecked, no, not wrecked, pulverized Christmas. Is that what I'm hearing from you, Lou?
You can't hurt Christmas, Mr. Mayor, because that isn't about it's not about the gifts or the contest or the fancy lights. And that's what Cindy's been trying to tell everyone, and me. She's been trying to tell me.
What is wrong with you? This is a child.
She's my child, and she happens to be right, by the way. I don't need anything more for Christmas than what's right here, my family. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, you hunk of burning Who.
Oh, give me a break.
The mayor walks away. Cindy looks up at Mount Crumpet. She walks over to the trash chute. Cut to Cindy crashing down on Mount Crumpet.
Mr. Grinch! Mr. Grinch!
Cut to the Grinch at the top of Mount Crumpet.
Now for the final note in my symphony of downright nasty, not niceness. The crescendo of my odious opus. Yes! Oh, the wailing and gnashing of teeth, the bellowing of the bitterly bummed out. It'll be like music to my ears.
The Grinch begins to hear the faint singing of the Whos down in Whoville.
Then the Grinch heard a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow.
Huh?
The Grinch jumps down to the mountain to get up there to listen.
But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sounded merry. But it was merry, very. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came.
Somehow or other, it came just the same.
Coming up to the sleigh.
Mr. Grinch?
And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags.
And he puzzled and puzzled, till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas,
he thought,
doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. Oh! Ah!
You hear the loud sound of a heartbeat, so strong it knocks the Grinch backwards.
Oh! Ow! Ow! Oh!
Max barks as the Grinch struggles to get to his feet. We keep hearing the sound of his heartbeat. He falls down again, rolling around and wailing.
Max! Help me! I'm feeling...
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
What's happening to me? I'm all toasty inside. And I'm leaking. Oh, Max, I love you.
Max comes up and licks him in the face.
All right. That's enough. That's all right. Knock it off. Beat it. Get out of here. One step at a time.
The Grinch notices his presents teetering on the edge of the cliff, about to fall.
Look, Max, the presents. They will all be destroyed. And I care. What is the deal? Wait.
The Grinch starts running back up the mountain to the sleigh.
This can't happen. It shouldn't. It couldn't. It mustn't. It wouldn't. Not now. Not then. Not ever again.
The Grinch finally reaches the top of the mountain.
No!
He runs and lunges towards the sleigh. He grabs on and tries to pull it to a stop, but he's not strong enough. He lays back, defeated.
Oh well. It's just presents, right?
Suddenly, Cindy Lou pops up on top of the sleigh.
Hi, Mr. Grinch.
Cindy Lou! What the fuck are you doing up there?
Language. I came to see you. No one should be alone on Christmas.
Grinch remembers the sleigh is about to plummet off the mountain. He sees Cindy Lou. He knows he must save her. He growls, summoning inhuman strength as he pulls the sleigh back up and lifts it over his head.
I got you, Cindy Lou!
You did it!
Woo!
Cut to the Grinch skiing down the mountain behind the sleigh as Cindy drives.
Whoa! Spread eagle! Nailed it!
The Grinch swings around so that he's back in the driver's seat next to Cindy.
Are you all right?
Are you kidding me? The sun is bright and the powder is bitchin'. Now scoot over. It's my turn to drive.
The two continue to hurtle down the mountain.
I better slow this buggy down.
The Grinch pulls on the brakes, but they give out.
We're gonna crash!
Now you listen to me. Even if we're horribly mangled, there will be no sad faces on Christmas.
She smiles, and the two look straight ahead and scream as they see Whoville rapidly approaching.
Ah!
Down in Whoville, the Who's gather as they see the sleigh approaching. Betty hears Cindy scream.
Cindy?
Grinch?
My baby!
Betty runs through a building and rips off a strand of lights. Martha runs up to help her.
Martha, grab an end!
By the way, these lights match your outfit perfectly.
Cut back to the Grinch and Cindy on the sleigh.
Uh-oh, this could be a little more difficult to negotiate. Heads up, Whoville!
Ah!
Betty and Martha spread the strand of lights out across the street.
Hurry! Here he comes!
Out of the way! I have no insurance!
The sleigh catches against the lights, but it isn't enough to stop it. Martha and Betty are dragged forward, holding on for dear life as the sleigh continues to careen down the streets of Whoville.
Yeah, run for your lives! Watch out! I can't stop!
Lou walks out into the street, directly in the path of the sleigh, and holds out a hand to stop it.
Daddy, move!
Dad, move!
The sleigh hurtles towards Lou. Lou catches it with his hand as it pushes him back into the town Christmas tree, stopping just in time.
Thanks for the help, Lou.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Cindy, honey.
Merry Christmas, one and all.
Cindy?
Mommy!
Merry Christmas!
Ho, ho, ho.
All right. What do we have here?
You got me, officer. You did it. I'm the Grinch that stole Christmas. And I'm sorry.
Mm.
Aren't you going to cuff me? Put me in a chokehold? Blind me with pepper spray?
You heard him, officer. He's admitted it. I'd go with the pepper spray.
Yes, I heard him all right. He said he was sorry. Besides, looks like everything is all here and accounted for.
Help me out here, people. Martha?
Merry Christmas, Augusta May who?
We see Martha sitting on top of the Grinch's bag of presents.
I'm afraid I do have something for you.
She slides down the side of the bag and walks over to the mayor.
Your ring back. I'm sorry, but my heart belongs to someone else.
Martha looks over to the Grinch. The Grinch points to himself, and Martha nods. The Grinch begins to laugh and cheer for himself, strutting back and forth excitedly.
I got a girl. I got a girl.
He skips over to Martha and the mayor. He holds his hand out to the mayor.
No hard feelings?
The mayor goes to shake the Grinch's hand. The Grinch pulls him forward and laughs in his face.
Hey, cheer up, dude. It's Christmas.
The Grinch twists the light on the tree, and the whole thing lights back up. Everyone cheers.
Woo!
Woo!
Woo.
Yeah! Fuck yeah! Christmas!
Merry Christmas, Mr. Grinch. Mwah. Your cheeks so...
I know. Hairy.
No.
Greasy? Stinky? Do I have a zit?
No. Warm.
Everyone turn up. Here we go.
Babu story, something about Christmas.
Okay, you got it.
Cut to the Grinch's lair, where everyone in Whoville is gathered for one big Christmas party.
So he brought back the toys and the food for the feast, and he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast.
Yeah.
Yay! Woo! Christmas!
There's nothing like the holidays. Who wants the gizzard?
I do.
Too late. That'll be mine.
Chorus of Where Are You Christmas cues in as the camera zooms back out from Whoville, until we are once again back outside of the snowflake. The end.
Yay!
Hey.
Grinch! Simon nailed it! Oh my goodness.
It was amazing.
Wow, that was a performance of a lifetime. So, thank you everyone, Serenia, for being our stage directions. So next month, to start off 2021, we are going to be reading Shrek. And David is going to be playing Shrek, and it's going to be amazing. But also, on New Year's Eve, we are going to be hosting the Lamppost Awards, where we will be doing our own version of an award show. You guys can tune in. We're going to get dressed up. We're going to have little, nomination reels like they do it, like the Oscars and stuff. And we're going to be giving out Best Actor, Best Voices, Best Ad-Lib, all that stuff. So we have an Instagram now, at Theater But Better, if you want to stay up to date on this nonsense. And we also, in 2021, have several original mini-series shows coming that won't be live. We'll film them on Zoom and then upload them edited. The first one is going to be called Caravan of Lies. We'll have more of that coming soon. But thank you everyone who came today, and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. If you don't celebrate any holidays,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy Yule. I hope you wear a fucking mask.
All of the above.
All of it. God, stay merry as hell. We hope you enjoyed, and